What's up? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, guys. As the year comes to a close, I kind of wanted to share a little bit my thoughts about 2015 and how it went for gaming, especially console gaming. Console had a strong comeback this year. For many years, since 2012, we keep hearing that consoles were on the decline. Mobile gaming on cell phones was coming up, and PC gaming was kicking ass, especially because the hardware at the time, before the release of the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, the 360 and the PlayStation 3 started looking very outdated with some of the newer games coming out, and the whole thing with 1080p and 60 frames per second, something that could be easily accomplished on the desktop or on PC gaming, wasn't so easily done on a PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. So 2 years ago, we had the launch of the Xbox One and the PS4. Of course, the first generation of those games were, they were okay. Let's put it that way. They were okay. But now that we're in the second year of this current generation, games are really starting to show their power. And console gaming came back with a vengeance in 2015. And one prime example of that is Batman Arkham Knight. That game looks amazing on console. It looks amazing, it feels amazing, it plays amazing without barely any issues, if any, that I have noticed so far on the Xbox One game that I have. Obviously on PC, you heard of all the issues they had. They released the game, there were so many issues, they pull it back from PC sales, and then they just put it back on the market, I think sometime in November, and there's still some issues with that game. And what it comes down to is that Rocksteady did an excellent job at making that game optimized for consoles, and they hire an external company to do the PC port, which is where they failed. But anyways, I'm just trying to say console gaming came back with a vengeance, something that we desperately needed, us console gamers. I am a PC gamer, but I do love my consoles just because they're just so convenient. You don't have to think about the hardware. You just take your game, pop it in, play it, or download it and play it. The PC game is just a little bit more involved. Even if you have a decent, PC like I do, and what I mean decent is like my PC is like a mid-range PC with iCore 5 and NVIDIA GTX 970. And every time you download a game on a PC, you can optimize it yourself to get better performance in a console. But there's always something you have to do. You always have to change some settings to get it to run correctly, or run it the way that you desire to run on your system. Whereas the consoles is so convenient, just pop the game in and play it. So with console gaming, I mostly, when it comes to console, I do, you can see from the two boxes back there, I'm an Xbox gamer. I love the PlayStation brand. I own many PlayStations over the year, and I used to be, and still am, a PlayStation fan. But over the last two generations, I think that Microsoft has done a great job with the Xbox 360, and now with the Xbox One, and how they evolve those systems with software updates. And this is why I stay with Microsoft Xbox One. Or the Xbox platform. That's one of the reasons. The second reason is Xbox Live. I've been on Xbox Live since 2002, so that's 12 years. My current Xbox profile is actually a little bit over 10 years old. So that's how long I've been on the Xbox Live platform, and I do love online multiplayer on that system. I wanted to go through down my list, and if I'm looking up, it's because I have my my TV screen right here. And I'm looking at my favorite games of 2015. Batman Arkham Knight. I haven't finished the game yet, but I'm about 33% in, and it's been a blast. It looks great. It looks amazing. I love this game. Second, Phantom Pain. I think it's a great game. The other game that I have loved a lot is Halo 5. Guardians. That game is a blast. With Halo 5, they're taking it in a whole different direction, which at first wasn't, being that I love Halo and I've been playing Halo since it very first came out, when it first came out back in 2001. So I'm a Halo fanboy, if you want to say that. With Halo 5 was going a little bit in a different direction. At first, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. It played great, and it felt great, but it didn't feel like the old Halo games, and that is not necessarily a bad thing. I think that by the time you beat the game, you realize, hey, I know what they're trying to do, and they're just repackaging the Halo universe for a new generation with newer technologies and newer graphics, and they were able to accomplish that with Halo 5. Now, the Halo 5 multiplayer is off the charts. That is one of the best multiplayers of the year. The campaign is great. It looks amazing. It looks really, really good. So the next game I want to jump into is Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3, this game was surprising because I played the multiplayer beta and I love the multiplayer. I was disappointed though with the story of Black Ops 3. Black Ops 3, I think that the first thing why so many people pre-ordered this game is that we thought it was going to be a sequel to Black Ops 2. Just how Black Ops 2 was a sequel to Black Ops 1. Black Ops 3 is not really a sequel. I mean, they could have just called this game whatever they wanted, besides Black Ops, and they would stand on its own, because I think there's only one reference to one of the bad guys from Black Ops 2, because I don't think this is happening 100 or 200 years in the future. It's amazing. You cannot take away the fact that Call of Duty is really one of the best, multiplayer online games out there, franchises out there. They really did prove that with Black Ops 3. Let's go to Fallout 4. Fallout 4, probably about 3 hours into the game. But it's amazing. It's fun. Once you play in it, you kind of want to. You actually start caring about the environment and about what you're trying to do in the game. Which is, you wake up from cryo sleep and you find out that your son was kidnapped during your cryo sleep and he was taken away as a baby. Your wife gets shot. All right. So the other amazing game is The Witcher 3. Now, Witcher 3, when it first came out, I missed out on it. I did not play the game. I did not buy the game, but I just got it over the Thanksgiving holiday. And I'm probably about close to 3 hours into the game. This game is amazing. The quality, the graphics, the production values of it.